scouting since then, I mean, that's your role now, it seems like. Have you changed anything, or do you try to approach it the same way, whether you were going to start Tuesdays, come out of the bullpen weekends, start then? Have you really changed anything about your process?
Well, yeah, I mean, you kind of have to change things, kind of have a more strict routine, and I think I always pick Tristan, Pete, and Tanner's brain and take bits and pieces of what they tell me and use it for my routine, but they've helped me a lot throughout this whole thing, and I think a lot of my success so far is from Pete, Tanner, and Tristan.
Lucas, do you feel like you have something to prove? I'm sure you believe you're a weekend starter, but do you feel like you have something to prove in this role?
I mean, that's not really how I look at it. I think just every time I go out there, just to give my chance a team to win and just keep competing.
Lucas, the bullpen's struggling just a little bit right now. You've been a guy that's come out of the bullpen in the past. Have any of those guys come up to you, talk about mentality or anything?
I think not specifically me, but we always have talks about mentality. And I mean, bullpen's hard. I did it last year for the first time in my life, and it's not easy. But they'll figure it out. We still have a lot of belief in them, and they'll be fine.
For the group overall as a whole, not just pitchers, but you guys feel like you're emotionally balanced right now? You guys feel like, even though you encountered some adversity, you guys are still in a good place?
Yeah, 100%. I think we're just as mentally strong now as we were when we were 11-0. A big thing about our game is our mental game, and I think even though we're 8-8 in the last 16 games, we're still really strong, and I think we're just going to keep that strong mentality and see what we got the rest of the season.
How are you doing just endurance-wise? I know you're probably one of the few guys who are an option to, have starter endurance, but how do you feel just your arm and being in that once a week, maybe having to throw a 100-pitch rhythm?
Yeah, I love it. It's what I'm built for, in my opinion. This is what I always wanted to do, is start at Texas, so getting that opportunity is great.
Look at that sprint. How does a California kid get to Texas? Were you a big Texas fan growing up?
No.
How did this kind of come to be?
I wasn't raised on any tradition. Used to be committed to USC when I was in high school. But Jared Jones, Carson Tucker, Petey Halpin were all my super close friends. And they kind of pushed me towards Texas, and I came on an official visit, and I loved it. So I thought this was a perfect place to be.
And you're the only one that ended up here from that group, right?
Yeah, I was very disappointed in them because we were all supposed to live together, and once it went Carson, then Jared, and then I was begging Petey to stay, and then Petey got drafted, and I was upset. I was not happy, but worked out.
So what do you know about this Texas OU rivalry? I'm sure you were raised on USC, UCLA. What do you know about this Texas OU rivalry?
I know we hate each other, so I guess I have to hate them too. But I went to the football game this past year. It was good. There's a lot of people there. Everyone hated each other. Saw a lot of horns down, which I wasn't too happy with, and so take that into the game.
Pitch at Globe Life. Is that a cool experience, or you try to tune that out and just think about the distance between the plate and the mound?
Oh, well, actually, last time I played at Globe Life last year, I didn't get an out, so I got a little bone to pick with Globe Life and just try to get a couple outs there and just try to give my chance a team to win. Unlike last year, it was brutal.
Lucas, you seemed real poised during that Texas Tech game. I mean, it seemed like you really had your step. You were confident. Is there something that just makes you play your best whenever the lights are shining the brightest?
Yeah, I mean, even in those games, I mean, there's no pressure. I mean, again, just give yourself a chance to win. I mean, my defense is great. They've been great all season, so just go out there, throw strikes, and, just compete. That's all you really need to do.
Have you seen anything just about the Oklahoma lineup? Anything you might need to do specifically just in your preparation for this series?
I mean, we always go over film and we look at the guys, and I think Coach Allen puts a good plan and how to pitch those guys, but nothing too specific. Just keep pumping in strikes and just doing the thing.
When do you think opposing teams are going to learn that you can't run on silence?
I don't know. There's only been one guy that's tried to steal on me all year, so I think they kind of got that message, and if they don't, then they will. So